Hey, this is May or May Not Be a Human. Last time I promised that I would work on some of this stuff down here. Now, you will notice that this is highlighted in purple. Now, normally, if I was to make another one of these, it wouldn't be highlighted in purple, as you can see. So, whichever one I'm working with even, that's the one that's going to be selected. Now you may be wondering what a layer is. Now basically, in layman's terms, a layer is a collection of shapes that can all be edited at the same time by selecting one of these. Now it's basically it's like a step up from shape editing. Now you may be wondering the advantage to this, and also you probably saw some of these other ones here. I'll explain these to you. Sorry, I'm not in beginner's mode. My bad. Now, most basic thing you can do is to select a layer, create a shape, and let's say a series of shapes, and that's our layer, okay? Now, you'll notice here, it'll have tools that say translate layer, scale layer, and rotate layer. These are exactly like the shape manipulation tools up here, except that they apply to all of the shapes inside of the layer. So now I'm going to work with the other layer just to show you an example, and this layer will be squares, okay? Now, just to show you an example. Now, I have this selected. However, when I select the layer, I can only move these points since I created them inside the layer. Now, in order to edit a layer, you have to be in that selected layer. So that's the way that you do it. So, if I click on this layer, I can work with these shapes. If I click on this layer, I can work with these shapes. And you see how that works. Now, you can do scale layer as well, and that's pretty basic. You can do rotate layer around the origin, which is this right here, the little sort of cross thing. And here's the other layer. It's the same thing. Scale, rotate. That's pretty simple. Now, there are different kinds of layers. The one that I've selected so far is called a vector layer. It's the most simple kind. Now, a vector layer is a layer that is made up of multiple points. And you may be wondering, well, how can you have anything in this animating program that isn't made up of multiple points? And I will show you how. An image layer uploads an image from, like, your pictures section. Okay, pretend you didn't see that or anything. Now, so that's easy enough. I don't really like to work with the image layers because they're just not as easy to manipulate as the vector layers. You can change an image layer to a vector layer, but then there's so many points. It's just so complicated and it's not worth it. I'd rather just make it right from here. Now, there are more layers called bone, switch, and audio. I'm going to go over audio since that is pretty similar to the image. The audio ones, they basically upload some kind of audio file of some kind. It doesn't matter what it is, it will be uploaded. I don't really know how that works because I haven't worked with it. You guys can mess around with that and see how that works out for you. Bone layers. Bone layers are the basis for all animation trends. That might not make sense now. However, we're going to go more in depth with bones next episode. For now, I want to show you the switch layer, because that's one of the most important ones. Let's say we wanted to make a face real fast. I'm just going to call it face. I'm gonna move it up here. You can click and drag like this. Now, for a switch layer to work, you have to place layers inside of it, and you do that by sort of moving it up inside of it like this. You don't have to do anything fancy, just move it so that the face is highlighted. Now you see it's sort of indented like that, and that's how it works. So I'm going to do the same for this layer. Now you see this disappeared? Here's why. Inside of a switch layer, only the active child is what it's called, or the one that you've clicked on, can be seen. That means that you can have two different sets of eyes for a face, a closed set of eyes and an open set of eyes. So if I wanted to say, I'm just going to make a quick vector layer. I'm going to call it face again. I'm just going to rename this to eyes. And then open and closed. Now what I've been clicking on is this button right here. That edits the whole layer at once, so it shows like the different shadows and different things you can do. This is one of my favorites. It just, like, I don't know, scatters all the lines and gives them the cool pattern. It's kind of weird, but I think it's cool. That's the only thing I really like about that. Now, back to what I was saying. A face. We're going to make a face. It's going to be a very quick face, because I don't have much more time on the video. Alright. There. That's a face. Let's pretend it's a face. I'm going to delete all these points. Okay, so open eyes are going to be 2 circles. And then, there we go. Open eyes. No. Ah! I wanted to select those points, not create a new shape. Here we go. Okay. Now, this is a bit awkward, but you can see how it would work. So, if you wanted to animate something, I'll show you guys how to do that in a later video. You would select this layer, and you would change which one of these is going to be the one that's, like, activated. Now, whichever one that's the top, that's, like, the default one. So if I move this to the top, now the closed eyes are going to be the basic ones. And if I click preview, it doesn't show anything because I haven't started animating yet. That's pretty much the basis of layers. I will definitely go more in depth because this is a very, very important aspect of animation, layers. So we'll go into more detail with that later. This was May or May Not Be a Human. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys at a later date. Bye.